welcome in. Some celebrating to do right off the bat. This is episode 52.
Yes.
We made it not necessarily to a chronological year, and I know this because our operations manager, who's not on screen right now, and I say this to the benefit. I say this to the benefit of Scotty and Adam. We all at one point worked for the same antenna, and yes. I'm thinking to myself, in the moment, boys, we finally got away from one of the worst program directors in the universe, and we found another one. Because I know, God bless him, he is an absolute stalwart. We have to give him credit because for the last calendar year, he has hosted all of the Rubber Shoes wrap-ups because he put his name on it. He owns it.
That's right.
So he is working, and he is pacing right now because I can tell you on the East Coast, we're 4 minutes late. He's annoyed. He's making sure he has already texted. Since I started talking, he's already texted Tyler probably 15 more times. I'm holding up a 4, though. That's the new math. 15 more times. Don't forget to tell everybody the Red Sox are delayed. We know. Yes.
We got it. We got it.
As is the learning curve of everybody on screen. Welcome in, Tyler, from beautiful downtown Lowell. Adam is in Connecticut. Scotty Dukes in Southern Maine, and myself in Cow Hampshire. It is at the buzzer, atbshow.com. If you go there, you'll find the links for all of the things. And, of course, if you choose to watch this again, you're like, that couldn't have been that bad. Let me watch that again. You can go back to our YouTube channel where all of this content resides. So welcome into the show. We appreciate your viewership, you sharing, telling a friend about it, commenting in the comments, which I'm sure we've already got 15 from Rubber Shoes because he's not here to complain about what we're not doing. Right. So all that being said, we're going to get right into it. We are a year in now, episode 52, pretty exciting. Yes. And right off the bat, probably the coolest news, as we get into the Masters, before we get there, because we're going to talk shoes for a second. First of all, Tyler just held up some everybody voted them down. He tells us, and you know it, and we're waiting with bated breath because he's holding them off screen, and he's talking about the fact that, he's like, Dad doesn't like these. So if Rubber Shoes doesn't like them.
No, he's the only one that does.
Oh, he's in on
this.
Well, this makes sense because your father decided that the Lakers were amazing for most of our childhood.
Also, I'd also like to say that me buying them wasn't a 100% like stamp of approval. It was, I kind of like them, and if I change my mind, then I can resell them. So.
I appreciate that, but you liked them enough that you bought them. So let's
Well, I said it's a win-win. I have shoes that I like, or I make money. So.
Well, you say it's a win-win. For our viewers at home, hold them up so they can see that they're a lose-lose.
Well,
Go ahead, though. Yeah, by all means.
They're not technically Lakers shoes. I want to make this clear.
Those are clearly Lakers shoes. I mean, come on.
That's not a deep purple.
Oh my God.
No, but I'd rather be stuck at one of their shows right now. I can tell you that much. Holy Lord.
He's like, I don't get that joke.
I don't know what that means.
Never heard of
Ask your grandfather. Yeah. So, all right. So, really cool golf dork shoe news. And Scotty, you might remember last year when the Ryder Cup was in Wisconsin, and I forget where the location was. Adidas, God bless them. I love Adidas so much, as does Rubber Shoes. So he'll appreciate this. They did a Stan Smith golf shoe with like a tread on it, and basically it was in homage to Wisconsin. It was an all-white Stan Smith. The sole, the rubber sole around the outside of the bottom of the shoe was all cow print, and then as you flip them under, we'll have to get this link and throw it up. You have to see these. Shocking, I have some. So you flip to the bottom side, and the tread of the whole shoe is pink, and they're little golf nubs. They're like a hyper soft spike, like a tech spike, Scotty, for golf, and they're all little udders, and they're amazing. So Adidas is back now. Go ahead. You have a question.
We're leading the show with golf shoes.
That reminds
we're going
me
into the
of,
Masters.
We're gonna go.
I wonder how you guys think of these shoes.
We're taking a vote. Is this the episode where Adam leaves the broadcast? Yeah. How dare you? First of all,
I don't have a problem if it was like a 30-second bit about shoes, but you're like, let me describe in detail.
Listen, Adam.
Ass golf shoes.
As a member of the C-suite, which is just you and I, right?
Yeah.
If you would show up for the analytics meetings, which apparently your open chair will now be Scotty since he's a stat boy, right? Yeah. If you'd look at the analytics, 49.3% of our conversation revolves around footwear on a weekly basis.
That's true. That's true.
Very true.
So ending our first year and starting our next year with a conversation about golf footwear.
Okay.
The week of the Masters, you're going to love this.
Okay, let's hear it.
Fat kids rejoice. Already rejoicing. So what are they doing? What is Adidas doing to celebrate the Masters? In cooperation with a very famous breakfast place in Georgia called Waffle House. Yeah. There is a Tour 360. Scotty, you got to look this up right now. And we will definitely put links for both of these shoes, the Stan Smiths from the Ryder Cup.
I'll get images.
And we'll also get the link for this. If you go to Adidas, they go on sale. This, of course, we're talking Wednesday. We're live Wednesday night. They go on sale tomorrow, 11 o'clock Eastern time.
They surely won't sell out.
Yeah, I like them, but not enough to. Yeah, so you probably can't really see. You can't really see that, but we'll throw the link up. They're a Tour 360 shoe. They're off-white. They look like waffles.
Let's try that.
And then the three stripes, still too shiny. It's not working.
What is
the
happening?
3 stripes are the color of syrup.
And
on the back of the shoe, it says Waffle House.
There you go.
Why?
They're making Waffle House Tour 360 Adidas spikes.
Why?
I don't know. Here's the thing, though.
That brings me back, though.
I need to be in the C-suite of Adidas. I would have put a stop to this before they even started.
You brought up the cow stuff.
Yeah.
And Nike did a Ben and Jerry's collab. These right here.
I've seen those. Yeah. Yes. Beautiful.
With the cow print in, all different colors.
So, Adam, those are on sale tomorrow at 11 o'clock if you're thinking about it.
Oh, I'll be setting my alarm.
I posted the link in the chat, in the guest chat.
Thank you, sir. For a mere $210, you too can have waffles on your feet.
Why wouldn't you want?
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Does it come with a plate of chicken and waffles or no?
One could only hope. Yes. So anyway, let's get right into it.
One of the promotion pictures looks like somebody at like a Waffle
pouring
House,
syrup into the shoe.
Pouring syrup into the shoe. Into the shoe.
They also had when I was in New York, they had a bunch of Adidas collabs with South Park.
Yes.
Oh my God.
They were Stan Smiths, but they were for Stan Marsh.
Yep, I've seen those. They have a whole collaboration with Star Wars too. There's Boba Fett, Stan Smiths.
I'm not a big
I just don't understand. This is just a marketing ploy? Like, I don't get it. Are people actually going to wear these shoes?
Yeah, stay with me on this because I hear you, dude. I have one because those are like the last. If you look at those, the Tour 360s have the actual spikes, not the old school golf spikes, but actual spikes. A lot of people are moving to the tech spikes. I only have one pair of shoes right now that actually has tech spikes. They're like my black Adidas that I would wear if it's like cold and wet. Everything else I have is like tech and breathable and all this stuff. Yet? So I think if you're inclined to wear that kind of shoe, Dustin Johnson wears the Tour 360. If you're inclined to wear that kind of shoe, and you love Waffle House because you're a Georgia kid, and you've got some disposable income to the tune of $200, I'm probably ordering them tomorrow.
Yeah. Are you ordering them tomorrow?
No. And the only reason I got the Stan Smiths from the Ryder Cup that look like the cow udders is because I told Cheryl about them. Hi, Mom. I told Cheryl about them, and she was on to get some for herself. Her size was out. And she's like, Timothy, what size are you? I'm like, Cheryl, I don't need the Stan Smiths. I was lying. Of course I wanted them. So 10.5 slipped out of my mouth, and she's like, they're on the way. Yeah.
Oh, yes.
She's the best.
Way to go,
She's
Cheryl.
The best. Yeah. So I have those. I showed them to Janina this morning. She's like, what do you have? And I showed her. She's like, when are you going to wear those? I'm like, they're so pristine because the bottom is all pink. I'm like, I might bring them into the office like Mr. Rogers and just make them office slippers because I don't want to ruin them. Scotty doesn't think I'm wrong. I'm not crazy.
I think it's beautiful.
Yeah.
That's perfect.
Poor Janina, probably every day you come out with something new from the closet. Like, what the hell is this? What did you spend
I
our
just
money
gave myself a great idea. Maybe I want to bring a bunch of footwear in here. I'll just be like
That's a
Mr.
good
Rogers.
idea.
I'll slip into a zip up cardigan and some fresh Stan Smiths.
Yes,
Won't
do
you
it.
be? Won't you be?
I can't
anyway.
find them online. You got to send me the link because I can't find them.
Probably the biggest news of the week is that Tiger still technically a game day decision for tomorrow morning. He's played. He's felt really good. I thought the coolest thing, Scotty, was when he was getting interviewed about the whole opportunity. He was like, "Yeah, I'm here because I can win." Like he came right out and said, "I feel like I can win." So, if nothing else happens, and I don't want him to squeak by and limp in, and I don't want them to adjust things and make some weird cut line on Friday. I just need him to make the cut. I think anybody who's interested in this weekend, the fact that we are, we're going to have the delay. Thank you, Bill Corey. We're going to have the delay, but you've got the Red Sox opening up in the Bronx. You've got the Masters with Tiger making an unprecedented comeback. Like, there's so much going on. We still have to go talk about, the Jayhawks. It's funny how your father's not here for that conversation, but we'll talk about it. We'll talk about it again next week when he's back. But
He'll have a new Jayhawks jersey to wear.
If you're a sports fan and you've been waiting for baseball to straighten themselves out and come back, that the Red Sox are playing in the Bronx, and then we get Tiger is super cool. Outside of that, Scotty, where do you think he'll finish, Tiger, this weekend, Masters?
I honestly, they gave him a great group. He tees off at 10:34 with Louis. I mean, I'm not surprised they put him with Louis and Joaquin Niemann, but Oosthuizen and him are really, like, they're pretty tight. They're not like him and Justin Thomas tight,
sure,
but they're pretty tight. So, but I think he'll be, I think he's gonna be even more comfortable just to kind of start that thing off. The groupings, by the way, just real quick before I get into like my prediction of where he's going to end up, are phenomenal. They do a really good job, I think. I always think Masters always do like an amazing job with the groupings. But with DJ, Dustin Johnson, Horschel, and Morikawa, that's a great group. The Matsuyama, Justin Thomas, and then an amateur, which I thought was really interesting how they pulled them together. And then like Adam Scott, Scheffler, and Tony Finau, and I can keep going. But there's I love the groups that they definitely pull together. I can't freaking wait until it starts. But with Tiger, I think he makes the cut. He plays Augusta as well as anyone, and Augusta's so fucking hard. It's so hard. I think he makes the cut. I would love to see him. This is what I would love to see. I'd love to see him with an opportunity to be within striking distance on Sunday, right? Just because everyone's going to tune in, you're going to dial in, and then if he's in striking distance, not only is it must see TV, but that's when he just gets so focused, and I would love to see that. So I'm going to say he's probably going to finish between top 10, top 5, just because I got a lot of faith, even though it's his first tournament back, but. That's obviously also a very biased type of pick. But.
Yeah.
Admitting that I don't know that much about golf, I fully admit that. But I will say that I think somebody at Tiger Woods' level probably is not going to come back on such a large stage if he doesn't think he can actually accomplish something, right? I mean, if he thinks there's even a question he's going to make the cut or not, I don't think he comes back. I think he comes back on a smaller scale,
sure,
and comes back for a different tour championship. But I think he's going to make the cut. There's no question about that in my mind. I think, Scotty, you're right. I mean, it's great for TV. I mean, TV ratings are going to be through the roof.
Yeah.
Whether he's near the top or not, people are just going to tune in just to see what he's doing. So I hope that he does. I hope that he's there all weekend. I won't be watching. I'll just be honest. I won't be watching.
That's not. We appreciate that. You'll be waiting in a digital line to get your waffle shoes, probably.
Yeah. Yes, that's right. I'm already in line.
Yeah. Well, speaking for Cheryl and people that I know feel like her, she's annoyed because she knows it's going to be all Tiger all the time. And she probably years ago was a fan. I think she fell out of caring about him when he forgot he was married. She got a little, and I know a lot of people that like can't look past that. Like, I'm done. I got off the bus. I'm all set. And there'll be a Tiger cam the whole time. If you have direct
100%.
TV, they always have the turn, amen corner, like all these things. And they'll be like Tiger cam. There'll be overexposure on his behalf. To your point, Adam, I appreciate that. He made a comment, and I think some people pulled it out of context, and there were some corrective conversations on some of the sets talking about what he said yesterday, I believe. He's like, if I don't think I have a chance to win, you're not going to see me out there. And I think people interpreted that like if he's feeling already screwed Friday morning, he's not going to show up for his second tee. And that's not what he meant. He meant per event. Like, if I didn't think that I could compete, I would not dishonor the sport. I'm not coming out to play.
He's not going to commit to any tournament without actually saying, I'm going to be able to play day 2, day 3, or whatever. Yeah.
Right.
And I don't think, Scotty talked about it. Don't forget, this is the course. Augusta was the course that they Tiger-proofed. They had to make it more difficult for him years ago. So I appreciate that he's probably spent a good amount of time probably trying to cobble together 4 full days of golf to get ready for this, because it's a lot of walking, and people are talking about, well, what if they did extend to him that he could use a cart? I don't think he's ever going to be. I think he's too proud to ever let that happen on this level. Now, when you get to the Champions Tour, they can use carts if they choose to, right? And I think for him, emotionally and physically, I'd love, like Scotty said, I want to see him make the cut. I would love to see him in a competitive role on Sunday. I hope that he doesn't have to bow out because something does act up and he can't keep walking and he just can't keep it together. I think he'll be okay, but I think the attention that he's always dealt with on top of the length of the course, all the walking and just all the pressure. Like, this is the Super Bowl, right? Like, I think this might catch up with him, and I fear that he's not going to be in a competitive role on Sunday. And at that point, too, and I'm making no judgment here, he could always be like, when he feels himself starting to fade, like, he can say, well, my trick hip backed it up. I got to peace out. Like, he could throw in the towel. I don't think he will. I think he'll be in the leaderboard. And just to have him chasing people that are going to be standing over their shot saying, this guy's not even supposed to have a second leg right now. Right. And he's following me like Jason in Friday the 13th, Part 9. You can't escape him. It's unbelievable what he's done. And it's really cool.
You guys know golf more than I do, obviously. But so it stands to reason that he's, these couple of practice rounds that he's played at Augusta aren't his first time out on the golf course. I'm sure he's been playing golf for quite a while up until now.
There's a couple of courses that are near him where he lives,
right?
That he's been out and he's been playing, and he's got a couple of his own courses that he'll fly out to and stuff like that too.
So you would think he would know that whether he has the stamina or not to participate in it, right? I mean.
And
he's played enough.
And I think what Timmy meant was more of he goes to swing and maybe, let's say a tee shot, he hooks one into the left of the woods, right?
Yeah.
And he's going to try and get something and his leg gets caught on like a root and his cleat just sticks. And when he swings, something like just buckles or something happens. Yeah. And then he's like, shit, there goes Friday or whatever, or he can't finish the round or something like that happens where he just tweaks something. Like I said, I don't think I don't think Tiger would ever commit to an event not realizing like I'm like, like you said, like I have a chance to win, so I'm going to commit, and winning obviously takes 4 days. So, I think that's what his mindset going into this.
And even if he's mentally knowing that, like, because he's not like, again, the kid that won his first jacket in '97 is not here. This weekend is going to be the current version of what he can deliver that he feels is 100%. But even him, I think he's talented enough. I'll go back to when Bubba carved the hook shot out of the trees. Like, he's a shot shaper. He's talented enough that he can be like, my swing is going to be about 87%. I know in my heart of hearts, I'm not telling anybody that, but my swing's at about 87%. His creativity and his ability to shape a shot is still going to put him past most of the kids. And I think just his understanding of the course.
So would you compare this to Jordan coming back with the Wizards?
No. No, I don't mean to laugh. Like, this is where I have to like sort of fall on my naivete. Like, no, I just in my heart of hearts, no. I think this is the biggest. Like, people like this is the biggest thing in sports ever. I disagree with that.
No,
this is the biggest story in golf this year, and this is the Red Sox could play naked all weekend at the Bronx, and nobody's going to know about it because Tiger's eating pimento sandwiches at Augusta. End of story. That's all anybody cares about.
Now, if he comes out with waffle shoes on,
well, the world's on
He's a Nike kid, though. He's a Nike kid. He's not going to do it.
Yeah,
that would be a deal breaker. Yes.
That was one of the controversial things coming out, though, is that he's not wearing Nike.
What we could do, you know what would be great for Tyler? Grab those Lakers shoes again for me. I know they're not Lakers shoes.
Lakers shoes.
Do you have the Puget Sound State University shoes that you were just holding up? Where are they? Like, they're always at arm's length away, right?
Yeah. What about them?
There's a company which is really cool, and now you can obviously you'll see a lot of guys. I know Tony Finau wears these all the time. There are Jordan golf cleats that you can get there, and they're already built. But there's also a company called, I'm gonna get it wrong, it's Kicks, where you buy a kit of the tech feet, and you screw them into a regular pair of Jordans, just to make them golf shoes. And And that would be the coolest thing you could do with those. I'm just giving you recommendations, Tyler. That's all.
Or throw them in the fire, whatever.
Oh my god.
Oh my gosh.
Go up on the eBay.
Well, here's the thing. I was just thinking, even if Tyler doesn't really want them, Little Shoes could be like, all right, Dad, you take them. And Rubber Shoes could have them. But Rubber Shoes, you're past your father's foot size, are you not?
He wears 11 and a half in Jordan, so this is a size and a half above his, so that's not happening.
You're
You're
13.
13?
Yeah.
Isn't that what Shaq wears? What does Shaq wear?
Shaq is like
Shaq's up there
7.
too, right? Oh, is he higher than that?
I'm
Yeah.
wearing a pair of Timberland Bucks right now. I could probably take my
Actually,
whole foot and fit
I think
them
you're gonna be
inside
upset
of
about
his.
these. Look at these.
Tighten the laces as much as possible, and they'd still fall off. What size are you, Scotty?
11.
11. I'm 10 and a half. What are you, Adam?
That's
Okay.
me too. I'm 10 and a half too.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh
You ready
my
for this?
God.
I didn't
Probably
think my
not.
feet were that small.
Give me
You
your-
think
give me
that's
your thought.
small? 10 and a half? What
Those are those are 13s?
Yeah.
Okay.
Those are like
What do you think?
Yukon Blue. I like it.
Okay, well, how about now?
Still like it.
What do they say on the back?
Nets.
The
Oh,
Nets?
hate 'em. Oh, garbage. What are you doing?
We got to
Where's
move.
Rubber Shoes? Is he paying attention to what this kid's buying?
He liked these. He gave the thumbs up.
I guess
on
I
these.
don't
I'm
have
keeping
kids
an
that are
eye
old
on the
enough to buy
face-
their own stuff yet.
While we're broadcasting live, I'm watching the Facebook chat, and I know Scotty is too. I'm also getting, and I think maybe we're all on it. Maybe it's just me and Tyler. We're getting text from Rubber Shoes
Oh, for God's sakes.
via the phone talking machine. And there's also a live chat going on. I have no idea what he's mad about. At one point, he told us that we're ignoring the fans. Is he talking
Ignoring
about
the
himself?
fans?
So he's no, because Billy is just he's Captain Negative. He's not expecting much from Tiger. He's like, I put money down that he doesn't make the cut, and he's like, you guys are
Oh.
acting like
Fair, I
Tiger's
don't
still
really-
close to his
I
prime.
don't have high
Whatever.
expectations either. I didn't
You know,
really get
he's-
my in, but
He's like the MJ from that last Spider-Man movie where you just expect disappointment, all the time. That's basically what he's doing, so that he's never disappointed. And I think
I
that's
said that like 6 months ago on this show. I'm like, you guys just go into everything with low expectations and you don't get disappointed.
Not
Oh my
me,
God.
man. I'm the super
that's a-
optimist. I
can't-
think
I
my
can't
team's
live
gonna
like
win
that.
every time.
I just think the Celtics are going to get knocked out the first round. then it
Wonderful
doesn't matter.
transition. Thank you, Tyler. We're off the golf shoes. We're off of Tiger. We're moving on to a category your father would be proud of. Talk to me about the
are currently
Celtics.
Third place.
Did you
With,
see
3
Peyton
games
Pritchard's shoes last night? Oh my God.
Why? What's wrong with his shoes?
I'm just
He
joking.
was making a joke.
Oh, okay.
Jeez,
been
Tim,
talking
pay
about-
attention.
Sorry.
50% shoes this show.
I'm
so-
like, they didn't play last night. I'm
Hell of
losing
a
my
thing.
mind. Yeah.
the Celtics. They're a team. They're third. Would you? Well, actually, that's the main question. I'd say. Do you want them to? Oh yeah, they did move up to second.
They're in second.
I want them to be third. I would like them to get third place. I think everyone agrees on that.
Yeah, I would love to. Like, I would
'cause
I would prefer third so that we play Chicago. Toronto. Yeah, because if
I
if
would
you're
want
the 2
Chicago.
seed, you're
Toronto
gonna
scares me a little bit, especially with our vaccination status, because they came out today saying that 2 of our starters are not vaccinated.
Well, nobody said that. That's what was reported. No, the Celtics didn't say that.
Well, yeah, but I mean,
Tatum's
no
already
thumbs
said
up.
that he's.
The Celtics have
Tatum-
been very quiet about it.
I
you
hate
know.
this story, by the way.
do too.
Tatum has already said he's vaccinated fully.
Yeah,
I
we're
think it
not
was
talking
Robert
about
Williams
Tatum.
that
We're
said
talking
he's
about
fully
2
vaccinated. I know he's
starters.
injured. Jaylen Brown has come out and said it's nobody's business, which I can respect. It's nobody's business, but
Oh,
I'm
he's
good
probably
to
not
go
vaccinated.
and play wherever we have to play. So that to me says you're vaccinated. You don't want to say it out loud. You're the vice president of the NBPA. Just move on, okay? Al Horford has said, I'm good to go wherever we go play. He hasn't come out and said he's vaccinated, but unless he's going to break the rules of the country that they're going to, he's fine and good to go. All right, so that leaves
Hey,
Marcus
Aaron Rodgers
Smart.
broke the rule.
Marcus Smart has said he's fully vaccinated. So what's the story here? I don't understand what the story is. I get why people are interested in it because they're not coming out and saying we're 100% vaccinated as a team. But if you read the tea leaves, they're all vaccinated, at least the starting 5. I don't know what's the bench it looks like, but the starting 5 is all vaccinated, as best I can tell.
Yeah, that's. I mean, I'm with you on that, Adam. I don't. It's the other thing is too. They're harping on it for the sake of harping on it. Like,
I was gonna
Right.
sorry. I was gonna yell one of the random white dudes on our team as a joke, but I completely forgot all their names. So.
Why were we going to do that?
like
Well,
Peyton
because
Pritchard
he was
or
like listing
Daniel
all the
Tice
people that
or-
are vaccinated. I was gonna be like,
Sam
what
Hauser?
about? Yeah, what about Hauser? What if we don't have him in the playoffs?
I think it's a concern
Hauser's
if we
a
don't have
knockdown
it.
shooter.
Yeah, I think they need their entire bench. But go ahead,
Knockdown
Scotty.
shooter
Go ahead.
for his 30 seconds per game.
For his
there,
30
yeah.
seconds. That's right. Aaron Neesmith knocked down 4 in a row when they were
my
up 40 on the
Oh, you
on
got
the
it. Oh, I gotta
whoever
find
they
it.
were
I
playing
gotta
the other
find
night.
it.
So what are the final 3 games? What do they have left?
Final 3 are tonight against Chicago, tomorrow against Milwaukee, and then a game that is going to be really interesting against Memphis. Memphis has 0 to play for, right?
Right.
They've locked up this 2 seed. They can't lose the 2 seed. They can't get the 1 seed, right? They're 8 games
And
back
Ja's
to the
not
1.
playing, right? Ja's out,
Ja's
right?
still injured. He's still hurt,
Yeah.
even though Memphis has played out of their mind without him, which is like one of the biggest
Right.
stories of the NBA season, how well they play without him. But the 2 games really that'll make a big difference will be tonight and tomorrow. Obviously,
Oh,
because
found it. Look at this. Fantastic.
What is this?
Valuable thing.
Poor Scotty can't get a word in edgewise.
What do we got?
is that
Who's
a
that?
signed Aaron Neesmith card? There you go.
Yeah.
Oh,
There you
Sorry,
go.
Scott.
Oh,
I
no, good.
hope that house
I like
is
it.
so heavily insured.
Oh my
Right?
god. The dollar
There's
figure that's on that
just
house.
bedroom to bedroom, millions of dollars.
The collectibles.
It's unbelievable.
Wait.
Wait,
And,
wait,
and after
wait,
this show,
wait,
somebody's
wait.
going to break in and get the Lakers shoes.
Peyton Pritchard.
I love that.
All right.
Little shoes. While Scotty finishes his point, you need to find. I want a Larry Bird rookie card,
Find it.
or we're shutting off your window.
Fun fact: the Larry Bird rookies paired with 2 other players.
You do?
Shut his window off.
Shut his window off.
Scotty, I'll be
yeah.
interested to hear what you have to say when you finish your sentence.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's all good. It's all good. So, tonight against Chicago, Chicago is obviously not vibing really well. They're not playing great basketball, but they're still dangerous. They're still a good basketball team. They should win tonight. Milwaukee is going to be a huge test, and I think Milwaukee. I think that's going to be a playoff-like atmosphere because Milwaukee is they've already won their division, but they're still fighting for seeds. I mean, right now, the Celtics sit in the 2 seed based upon win-loss record against the other 2 teams because it's Boston, Milwaukee, Philly, all have identical records. They're all 49-30.
Right.
So it's going to be interesting to see how it flip-flops. And this is the last weekend of the regular season as it ends on like the 12th or something like that is like the last day.
Yeah.
But Milwaukee tomorrow night is going to be freaking epic. I am dying to see what they do without Time Lord against Giannis and how they're going to collapse on him and how they're going to make, Holiday and Middleton and Bobby Portis and these other guys beat them. The defense hasn't been spectacular since he left, but they haven't dipped as much as I would have expected them to. So it's going to be a good tune-up, and I really would be surprised if they win these next 2 games if, get that Aaron Neesmith, signed autograph card ready to go. Because I wouldn't be surprised. Against Memphis, it's going to be bench versus bench, because neither one. If Celtics do take care of business in the next 2 games, they won't really have much to play for. Neither does Memphis. So I'll be interested to see how it plays out.
Well, what's kind of great if that's what happens is that not only will they have good seeding for the playoffs, but also they'll be super rested for the start of the playoffs because they'll have a whole week off basically before the playoffs start. And I can definitely see that happening. I would say even if they win or lose tonight, don't you think that they wouldn't play it? They might not play against Milwaukee if they lose tonight. I mean.
It's possible.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a good point, especially if they are. And Udoka's already come out and not really talked blatantly about seeding. Like, he doesn't really want to talk about that. He's like, it's focus on game to game, the typical Belichick, I'm just going to focus on Sunday.
Yeah.
That's
right.
It. And smack my lips enough for a Belichick impression, but
No, it's the snort. It's the snort. Janina hates the snort. Oh my God! There it is. Janina hates it.
Sorry, Janina. Don't listen to this episode. I apologize. But if it's a good point, Adam. If they lose tonight, do they start kind of dialing minutes down? I mean, I don't think they do because I don't think they look at like most Boston fans, which is like I think we avoid New Jersey or Brooklyn. Jesus, New Jersey. You show me that shoe. And that's
The Nets logo.
Jersey. Yeah, avoid Brooklyn with Durant and Kyrie. But maybe if they do, they kind of like dial down their minutes against Milwaukee, and then if they're okay to kind of lose out and get the thing is too though, they could either end up with the 3 or the 4 seed if they do that. So
Right.
I don't want to see them lose 3 in a row here. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like,
I
I'd
agree.
love to see 2 out of 3 or a clean sweep, but we'll see.
The fact that Tyler has New Jersey Nets Air Force Ones that he may or may not
Those
wear
are
in the
Air Force
future.
Ones, by the way.
Are they Air Force Ones? No.
No.
Oh.
Have they ever been worn?
Oh yeah.
Oh, they have been.
Oh, those are those just
My,
low cut
birthday.
Jordans? I'm very confused. I apologize.
They're dunks.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Okay.
I got
What do those go for? Out of curiosity.
probably like
3 Peyton Pritchard
225 or
cards.
so. What was that? I didn't catch that.
He said 3 Peyton Pritchard cards.
Oh, no, like 225.
I so desperately we have to like get a helmet cam, and I want to see you and your dad just go to like the swap meet in Lowell
Yes!
and just start haggling, trading baseball cards and basketball cards. And
I was this close to buying a Robert Williams rookie, and then like he got hurt the night of. I was about to buy. I'm like, I'm just looking at him and he got hurt. If I buy this card, he's gonna like get killed.
I can see like
my God.
rubber shoes heading downtown Lowell, right?
Yeah.
Like a big market, and he walks up with like 4
can
boxes
show you
of
my
shoes
collection
and a
here.
whole bunch of his baseball and basketball cards, and he comes home with like a beekeeper's hat and an oversized teddy bear, right? Like hell of a morning, like it's just no idea what's happening.
We have Celtics representation.
What is this? Is another one. What is
I want
happening?
to prove that I'm a Celtics fan to these people.
Oh.
Dude,
If you're a
is
Celtics fan, you
happening?
get a
Those are
better looking
bad.
shoe
Those
than
are
that,
bad.
dude.
Those are
What are those?
Oh my, those are awful.
Those aren't
They're-
bad.
Do you
uh,
guys
Jordan
remember?
30s. Fine.
Oh my God.
I'm going to my dad's room and I'm going to get in shoes.
He's back there spinning a wheel. He's going into the safe. Dude, these are still. Oh my God, this is
I had
amazing.
to read the label. Sorry.
We have to do a whole show on this.
Oh, my
I
God.
love those.
That
Oh,
better?
I like
Okay.
those.
I
too,
love those.
but
I ripped my room apart for your satisfaction.
I love
One
those.
show without my dad and I lose my mind.
Oh my God, we have to put pictures up in the show notes.
It's
What would Tupac say?
what would yes? What would Tupac do?
callback. Yeah.
All right, so before we put a bow on the NBA talk for right now, because
I got
Celtics
the
3
joke
more
10
games,
seconds
they're heading to
later.
the playoffs, which is exciting. I am so thrilled that LA went the way it did.
Yes.
Talk to me, Scotty. Like the 3 of you have way more intel in this category than I do, because I pay attention to the Lakers long enough to hate them, and then I leave. I don't buy random shoes. So that being said, he's going to grab them. Puget Sound State University. There they are.
There they
awesome.
are.
Yep.
They are for Michael Jordan's fraternity, okay?
Oh, they're from his frat.
Oh, there's Shaq.
Yeah. No, he said Jordan's.
No, Shaq's in it too.
Oh,
Shaq
okay.
and Vince Carter are in the fraternity
What?
too. And
Okay.
also, now I'm drawing the blank. Never mind.
It's better to think they're from Puget Sound University.
Yeah,
have to say.
I State University. I'll have you
State,
know.
sorry, state.
Yeah.
Yeah, state.
I think I might be mistaken, but I believe Bill Cosby was also in the fraternity.
Oh,
Oh,
no.
you just ruined
Okay,
it.
Adam said burn him. I think that's a good idea.
yeah.
I'd assume not anymore.
So the Lakers.
Yeah, we hope not. Yeah, talk
Well-
to me, Scotty. Like, what is their next move? And I don't know if you guys heard that. There was a take where they were talking about somebody was commenting that if they had made a different move, they had a chance. The Lakers were in a conversation, apparently they had a chance that they could have brought in DeRozan, and they
DeMar.
didn't.
Yeah.
Right. So like, what do they do now? Do you think there's a possibility that they move any of
No.
the big hitters off that team, or do they stay?
I
No.
know a lot of this lost out, but
No.
unless they make a trade, they can't really do much with cap space wise. They don't really. They're like the Patriots right now. They not in the best spot. And from what at least AD and Russell Westbrook believe as of last night, that Lakers fans rejoice, will be staying and Davis will. I personally believe they should at least trade Davis, because I mean, what are you going to get for Westbrook? A Cracker Jack box? I don't know, but I mean, they're kind of just screwed. And a lot of people, I don't want to make this the LeBron hating segment, because I feel like
By all
Go ahead.
means. By all means.
But I mean, at the end of the day, he kind of was the one that got this together, and DeMar was that close
Hold
to
on.
being there, and then he got in conversation with Westbrook and Scotty. Yes.
You got to remove the word kinda. This is all his fucking problem.
Oh,
Oh!
All
he's
him.
right.
Kids,
Okay.
if
picked
you're
this
scoring
team.
at home, it's very
He
rare
picked
that
this
Uncle
team
Duke
out.
swears, and he's swearing. So by all means,
Yes,
finish your
please.
thought. I'm
Okay.
excited.
Because LeBron drives me friggin' nuts. He handpicked this team. And the
Yes.
fact that they're sitting back and making the excuses, oh, well, this person got hurt and that person,
Yeah,
you know,
Dave
we didn't
Stevens
really
shut
have
the-
the team,
I
blah,
would
blah, blah.
swear right now,
Like,
that's
you
not.
guys put this team together. LeBron, you put this team together. You know, nobody else. This was your handpicked team that you wanted to have. And
Right.
you didn't get it done, and you didn't make it work, even though you were sitting back and, you know, everything was, you know, all hunky-dory in October. Like, this is going to be the best team ever now that we got Russ, and this is what we want, and all this. Like, no, you can't sit back now and be like, well, you know, we didn't get it done because we weren't. Granted, they did have the most starting lineups in a single season in NBA history. Like they had the most like the different configurations or whatever in a starting lineup. It was ridiculous amounts.
I was just going to
And I know
ask you,
However-
do you think that's
if
because do you think part of this, and you just sort of made my point, but maybe I'm wrong in this thought process, because they had so many different combinations of starting lineups. Do you think because it became such a popular thing, load management and resting people, because this person can sit because that, you know, if we don't have Time Lord, then they could rest this person and vice versa. Do you think that they overplayed that hand? And were there big games that they lost, or any games that they lost because they thought they could sit people and put in certain combinations that blew up in their face? Like, how did they get here? Like, how are they not in the playoffs? Because I don't pay attention to them.
They're terrible.
Enough to know that they didn't make the
Even when-
playoffs. But like, how did this
even
happen?
their record when the big three was together is 10-11.
Right.
So like the 21 games that Westbrook, AD, and LeBron played together, they're 10-11. Even
lost
like
Mojo.
when it was LeBron and Russ, when it was LeBron and AD, they still weren't winning games.
Well, the thing is, you have how they got here was $50 million is tied up in a point guard that doesn't actually realize he's a point guard that can't actually play point or play defense for that matter, but still thinks he's, you know, one of the top NBA players in the league, which is just not.
And-
you know, but bringing all these like players together, LeBron, one thing that because he's done this, especially since he went back to Cleveland. Actually, no, even when he went to Miami, he started to handpick his teams. Like that's what he's been able to do. And because we've talked about this 100 times on the show, the NBA is by far the worst when it comes to
Super teams.
catering to their players. Players
Yeah.
can do whatever they want in the NBA. You know what I mean? They could demand to leave teams. They could pick their own teams. Like it's a players run league more so than any other professional sports league. And LeBron is the biggest perpetrator of all of this. He puts it together, and his bench especially is trash. Is absolute garbage.
Also, what I want to just on the excuse of injuries and stuff. Also, if they had gotten DeRozan for nothing and not traded key players like Caruso and KCP, you know, to get Westbrook, they'd have DeRozan and they'd have a lot of role players that if you have an injury, you don't have to worry as much because you have guys that can pick up the slack. But instead, you're stuck with Taylor Horton Tucker and Joe Schmo number 5.
right. And like someone's like, oh,
And
well,
they could
they didn't
even
have
like
Kendrick
traded
Nunn or
Kuzma
whatever.
for
And I'm like,
Buddy Hield. You know,
Right.
I think to
Adam.
Scotty's point too, though, like, and we've talked about this a number of times on the show. It's like he handpicks his team, and he's just not that good at it. I mean, frankly, he's not that good at it. Half the teams that he's on, he carries them to the finals.
He's no Danny
team is
Ainge.
So terrible. Well,
Yeah,
fair
and I
enough,
mean,
but
if they had a somewhat decent team, like this was one of LeBron's. You know, when he played, he was playing fantastic and scoring a bunch of points, but it didn't matter because everyone around him they picked sucked.
Well, I mean, you know, you bring in Carmelo Anthony, he's way past his prime.
Correct.
Russell
He's like a fine bench dude,
Westbrook
but-
can't play with other teammates. I mean, he just can't. He's got to be ball dominant. He's always got the ball in his hand. And LeBron, you can't put two guys like that on the floor. You can't put LeBron and Westbrook on the same team. It's just not going to work. I mean, even if they were both in their primes, it just doesn't work because they're just too similar in the way that they approach the game. I'm not saying that they're the same player. Obviously, LeBron's far better than Westbrook, but the way they approach the game is very similar. So if you have those two guys and then AD's constantly hurt, and he really hasn't been. He's sort of been a shell of himself this year. It's just a terrible team. He's
think
just
also,
not. And LeBron's not a good GM either. He's just not. I mean, he puts together terrible teams.
And LeBron's older, and that's the other thing. Without depth, LeBron's older. He's not going to be playing every game of the season anymore. He's going to miss games,
Scotty, do you know if there's a... Oh, sorry, Tim. Go ahead.
Well, I was going to ask you guys, do you guys think, and like this is such, everybody's tired of this conversation, and I sort of don't care because I think it plays in favor of the guy that I like better. And LeBron, let me preface all this. LeBron's amazing. He's one of the greatest of all time. There, I said it. God help me. Anyway, this affects his legacy because, and you could never recreate this because we're talking about generations and we're talking about different players and a different style league. But Michael would have made this work.
It's hard just
so go in a time machine with me and replace get me Michael's generation Westbrook. Like replace the players and put that team together and tell
who's
me
Michael's generation's Westbrook?
What's that?
Who's Michael's generation's Westbrook?
I don't know. I'm asking you guys. That's why you're paid to be here. Yes. I don't know. I don't know, but I'm just saying. I think he was the guy. Like they would always say, Magic made everybody around him better. I've never looked at LeBron and said he makes everybody around him better.
No.
He's not that kind of athlete. Michael Jordan does. Magic Johnson did. Tommy Brady does.
Right.
Like there are certain players that make everyone around them better. And he's not that person, and that's why I think like it's starting to show. And at 37, and he's talking like Brady, I'm going to play till I'm 60. Well, all right, fix your hair first because that's embarrassing, and work on your leadership. Yeah, your hairline and your leadership. Let's all those things.
Well, this is the whole problem with the player-focused league, right? The players should play. That's what the players should do. The players shouldn't be general managers. I mean, they're just not. There's a reason they've always had, presidents of basketball operation and general managers and coaches, because the players should just be out there to do what they do best. Michael Jordan, I'm sure he was involved in discussions about the team, but he's not out there going, I want to play with Magic Johnson. Right? I mean, he's not picking Magic Johnson off the Lakers and saying, I want to play with him. Yep. He's like, I got Scottie Pippen. Well, Scottie Pippen's pretty good too. So I'm going to make him better and make the guys around me better. And I'm going to win 6 championships with my eyes closed. I mean, the guy probably could have won 8 in a row for all we know, if he hadn't left for baseball. So that's to me is the biggest problem is everybody wants to say, oh, because I can play basketball, I'm really good at spotting a good team to put together. That's not exactly the way it works. There are some players, Danny Ainge among them, that can go and put together a team that'll actually work. But they're very few and far between. And it's not like Danny Ainge is any LeBron James on the basketball court. So I think it's just a problem with the direction of the league.
Yeah, and I think also it's a lot easier this is kind of obvious, but there's a big difference between Kevin Durant joining a team that's already established and really good than Kevin Durant building a team in Brooklyn, not figuring that. Because, I mean, look how that ended up. I mean, Brooklyn still have a shot and all that, but the big three with Harden is no longer existent.
Yeah. And the thing is, too, there's a difference between recruiting and being like, hey, you should come play with me, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. And, things that LeBron used to do in Cleveland, right? And he would try to, there was times where LeBron was actually, recording messages for free agents, video recording them. And they'd go to, pitch them. And, they'd play the message from LeBron, hey, come here. But, and there's that difference of, that recruiting to being, going into the general manager's office and be like, I want this guy, I want that guy, I want this guy, and I want that guy. And, there's the handpick and recruit are two very, very separate things. LA is going to be like this for probably 2 more years, and that's the way I look at it right now.
So it's screwed when LeBron goes.
It's a pleasure. 10 years. It really is. It's
one of those things that I laugh because you look at some of the teams in the East, how if you sat there and be like, oh man, you think about the Washington Wizards, how good are they? They're fucking terrible, right? Or they look at the Knicks, they're terrible. Both teams have better records than the Lakers.
Yeah,
and who would have said that going into the season before the season started?
That is
right.
What's that?
Oh, me. I'm saying the Lakers are on par with the Kings. I know. What's even more embarrassing, I need to remind people, this isn't like old NBA where you need to get in the 8th seed. Like, you have 2 more opportune spots, and you still couldn't even at least make the play-in tournament.
Yeah, it's
With one of the greatest. And back to how you're saying making players better, this is kind of more recency because, like, just last night. But big difference of LeBron to a guy almost like Chris Paul, where he really, last night Suns now most wins in a regular season for that team. Every team Paul has gone to, that team has reached that. Like, he brought New Orleans to most regular season wins, Clippers and Rockets, and now Suns.
Still can't get over that playoff hump, though. I love Chris
Correct.
Paul. But
I know it's
can't get over the finals.
Hopefully, maybe this year. I mean, hey, at least they made the
No,
final.
not this year. Lose to the Celtics
Scott,
in the
no,
finals.
yeah, Celtics, right? Scotty,
And even
all right,
look
let
at,
me
like,
put
when
this
he was
on
in
you.
OKC that year. That team should have not even made the playoffs, and he led them somewhere.
Let me put this to you all for the last bit on the Celtics. Do the Celtics win a championship before the Lakers do? Their next championship before the Lakers do?
Ooh.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
Yes.
I still
All
don't
right.
know when
I
we
agree.
win one, but
Yeah.
I mean, I think we have a good
definitely-
shot this year, personally.
I don't
I
don't
do too,
disagree
but
with you,
I
Adam.
don't.
Yeah, I don't disagree
Yeah.
with you.
Yeah, I definitely think so.
Excellent.
Think so. But speaking of players, by the way, that last thing is like you were talking about, like Danny Ainge or whatever, being able to build a team. How about the guy that used to do it in LA? Jerry West was pretty friggin' good.
Oh yeah.
As much as
Now,
I
who's he at the head of now?
hate
Are
the
you-
Lakers, but he could build a team. He could put together like a
Are
squad.
you watching the HBO show?
Yes.
I
Okay,
haven't
I have
started
I have to
watching it
watch that. Apparently, it's
Sorry.
really good.
yet. Who is Jerry
Back on the
West with
Lakers
now, though?
team
Isn't
before
he
we
the
leave.
GM of some team? Or the president of a
I
team or
don't-
something right now?
He left the Lakers, and it was not pretty when he left.
Yeah.
I'd have to look up. See if he
Yeah,
was
I
with
know, but
somebody.
I think he's
Not sure where he was. Tyler,
I
go
don't know
ahead.
if you saw this.
the Clippers. He's with the
What?
Clippers now.
Oh boy.
Oh, he
Yes,
is?
that's right.
Yeah.
Okay. But obviously Lakers too have a really bad head coach in Frank Vogel. The word, which this is weird,
He's gonna get
the rumor is that Vogel is, well, obviously Vogel's getting fired. He sucks. But that Doc Rivers is going to be going in.
I did hear that too.
Yeah.
Doc Rivers left the Celtics and has been a head coach for just about every team in the league, hasn't he?
Honestly.
I mean,
Yep. And he
What
is
is happening?
blown leads in the playoffs every single time.
awful.
God bless him. Somebody get him a
Ubuntu.
lozenge. That's all I want. I just want his throat to get better. Makes me hurt when he talks. I love him to death though because he delivered for us.
Oh, yeah.
It's so weird. Like, he, led the he wasn't playing, but he helped the Celtics win that championship. And it's crazy how far he's gone because every team he's been with since, I always am like, that team's really good, but I know they're not going to win a championship because Doc Rivers is the coach.
Oh,
Ouch.
super judgy. That's all right.
Like, that's
love
how I feel
Doc.
about the 76ers right now. I don't take them seriously because I know Doc Rivers is going to find a way to mess it up.
Speaking of losing basketball, on to the Final Four in UNC.
Oh.
Scotty, I'm sure you want to pick up since Bill's not here. Rubber Shoes had all of the things he wanted to talk about, but
Hell of a game, by the way.
yeah,
Really disappointed. I mean, you're up 15 at halftime.
That's
and
horrible.
They just didn't. They came out flat. They came out flat, and they did not. Kansas really stepped it up. Yeah, I don't have much to say. It was really super disappointing. It was super disappointing. Because I'm thinking like up 15 at halftime. Like that's obviously there's a lot of basketball to play, but the way that they were flying and playing D, and then like they look great, and then just the way they catch it. This is not good.
Yeah.
So and it's too bad. Mostly I feel bad for I'm blanking on his name, Sodic or whatever, the center that just
That got hurt
dominated.
very end.
They got hurt at the end of the
I mean,
national
props to him for
championship semifinal.
literally
Rolled
hopping.
his ankle and still played forward, like threw like a double, and just absolute beast of a kid. And you saw him on the bench. Like that's the thing. Like college sports. It's it's amazing to watch because just the like you could the emotions and like the kids. They were just. There's a picture I saw where the jubilation of the Kansas kids were just like we're just going nuts and they're
Sure.
jumping, and then like in the foreground though is Caleb Love, the guard for UNC,
Yep.
just being like hugged by one of the assistant coaches or whatever, just in absolute agony and just tears, and it's just like it's heartbreaking, man. The whole thing was heartbreaking because I would have loved to see the Tar Heels win it.
Onto
but they
that,
just didn't.
too. Could you imagine if frickin' Kansas lost after that dude stepped out of bounds with 5 seconds left?
Yeah, right.
That,
Would've been-
I mean, holy crap. That's like,
Yeah.
I saw
That
that,
kid-
like, there's,
That kid Love, though, he was lights out against both Duke and Kansas.
Kansas.
He played.
Yeah,
he just
huge
balled
shot
out. It
against
was
Duke.
crazy.
And that's the thing too. Like it's super disappointing that they lost the national championship. I'm still reveling in the fact that they beat Duke.
Sure.
And they
I'm sure.
You know,
Yeah,
just
that was
Coach
the
K out
championship for
the
me.
door. Like that was great. I would have loved the cherry on top would have been the championship, but you know.
Well, and Rubber Shoes said that in the thread, and as soon as he said that, I'm like, oh, this game's already over. Because you were like, don't say that. Shh. Like, wait, it's gonna be a tough game, and like Rubber Shoes was already ordering the confetti, right? So, yeah, and
I mean, they overachieved quite a bit. They were only an 8 seed.
Oh my God, yeah.
There's another side story. Getting to the women's thing, and UConn played out of their minds. What a great team, and all I can say is, there's a local resource that does banners and stuff.
Uh-huh.
And there's a certain team in New England that you love, Adam, that tends to order banners faster than they should. And that's really where I got to leave it. So here's the thing. And I know, but when you time it out, if there's a banner that you want at the university when the girls get home,
Yeah.
just wait till the clock runs out.
I didn't read that story. Did they ordered
It's
it too
it's
soon?
a phenomenal story. A lot of schools do it, and I understand. And
Yeah.
it's just, I think, it's not a great practice because
I gotta
for
yeah.
a few universities that I know of, it has happened to them more than once.
Yeah.
And I don't think this is a Chinese proverb, but if I walk down dark alley and get hit overhead with frozen ham more than once, stop walking down dark alley. It's just like, why do you keep doing that? Stop it.
I have to say, it's surprising that they ordered it, because if they had an adult in the room, they would have looked at the matchup between them and South Carolina and been like, it's not looking good.
It's a fascinating story, and there's a lot of things that athletes do. They always get into these things when you get to playoffs in any arena, professional, collegiate. What are your game day or what are your playoff superstitions?
Right.
Read the room, UConn.
Right.
That's all I'm asking.
It's fascinating story. Did you guys listen or see anything about Diana Taurasi and Sue Bird? That broadcast that they were doing.
Oh, it was the greatest. Have you watched it? It's the greatest thing of all time.
Did you?
It's
The
hysterical.
amount of times that.
Did they do
Taurasi,
like an ESPN2
Yeah, it was
side
like a Manning
broadcast?
cast.
Okay.
Yeah,
Awesome.
Players
No, I
only
didn't
got
I
see
love
that
when they
stuff.
do that.
Cast. Yeah, but it's amazing how many times Taurasi was like, "Yeah, the cock's along tonight,"
Yeah,
and like just
yeah,
dropping
yeah.
like all these things about basically because of the Gamecocks, and just like, it's a game of inches. Just ask the Cocks.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
It was
all
it was
about it.
unbelievable.
Oh
It
my
was
God.
unbelievable.
You-
like Sue Bird.
If you
almost,
have
like, spit her
ESPN
friggin'
Plus, you have to
face
go watch it. Don't
Yeah.
watch it. I mean, they don't even talk about the game. I mean, the game's on, but they don't even talk about the game. It's absolutely hysterical. And the two of them are just out of their minds. I'm sure they were hammered for for the vast majority of it. It is
Yeah.
so
Rossi
funny.
definitely
And they did it for both Final Four games, and they did it for the national championship game too.
Well, I'll
So-
tell you, quite honestly, when we are home, and we are because we're parents and we're old,
Right.
during football season, if the Pats aren't playing Monday Night Football, and let's be honest, we're going to get less and less of those this year. If we're
Yeah.
not Monday Night Football, we're going to watch the Peyton brothers.
Yes.
I watch it
So
with
much
them.
more
It's
entertaining.
super entertaining. It's hysterical, and you're still watching the game passively.
Yeah.
And Peyton is just hysterical. He's awesome. They're
My favorite thing is when they go for like, and Taurasi and Bird did this too, but like the Manning brothers will go for like 15 minutes without even mentioning the game.
Yeah.
And then they'll be like, Eli, what do you think's going to happen here? It's like, were you even watching the game the whole time? No, they weren't. It's hysterical. I love that new move where they're going to start pairing up these, superstar athletes to commentate on the games. It's just it's like an inside look. It's fun. It's way more fun than watching a team that you could care less about.
Speaking of commentators, we're gonna wrap this up, and we're gonna do our predictions for. We want to do total wins for the Red Sox. Absolutely right. Other than that, and I think probably all of us had a number in mind that might have changed, because now that we know that Sale is going to be in traction for at least 60, which is.
Did you know the game got postponed?
I hadn't heard that from our operations
okay.
manager. Yes, but,
No, all right, good.
and we'll get Rubber Shoes' pick in due time. I'm sure he's already get this figured out. He's run all the math. But before we get there, speaking of commentators, on tonight on Nesson, not to be missed, and if you're gonna miss it, record it. They're honoring Jerry. So they're doing Jerry's baseball career and his commentator career on Nesson, remembering Jerry. They're going to be wearing 2 on their uniforms all year. It's going to be awesome. And they're doing a pretty good job. I got to be honest, I'm more of, honestly, if I'm listening to sports radio in New England, I'm more of an EEI kid. Although I do love in the afternoons when you listen to Felger and Mass. And Maserati's so squeaky, but he's been in the booth doing games with Dave O'Brien. For the Nesson games. They're going to rotate him through with Eck. I guess Euclid and Millar are going to be in that rotation too. So
yes,
the booth will be pretty interesting. I really like Eck because he just says it like it is. He doesn't care. But Maserati's got some great baseball knowledge. I've always loved him, and I think Euclid and Millar will be good. I think Euclid might be better than Millar. This is my early prediction, but not to be missed. I'm pretty sure it is in just about 2 hours. It's 8:00. As we speak on a Wednesday night for Nesson for remembering Jerry. That should be really good. So
that's
predictions on total wins. I think that's as far as we want to go right now. I was probably gonna go deeper if Sale was healthy, and I know we've got a good lineup that could surprise us, but I think our pitching is probably the most suspect out of everything right now, as I see it. As a baseball expert, I'm sure Rubber Shoes would tell me I'm wrong, and that's fine. I'm gonna go with a dangerous. I'm going to change this. I'll make it odd just to fly in the face of my sanity because I love even numbers. 83 wins.
Wow. All right.
83 wins.
That's low.
No playoffs, huh?
That's
83
low.
wins.
Yep. All right, Scotty, you go next.
Yeah, I feel like I'm relatively the optimist when it comes to the local sports teams anyway. And even with the pitching, though, I mean, yeah, they're going to miss Eddie, but I think they've got some decent ones, some kids in the farm system that I think will come up. And I honestly think like they won 92 last year, right? And I think you add a guy like Trevor Story, he's going to get you, I feel like he can get you a couple of extra wins there. So I'm actually going to bump him. I'm going to say 95.
Okay.
I'm going to say 95 wins. I'm going out as well.
Right.
I think it's going to be. I like the AL East is still going to be really tough. Toronto's good.
Mm-hmm.
The Yankees and then the Rays are always sneaky. But I still can. I could see this team raking like crazy. So 95.
Okay.
All right.
Little Shoes.
65 wins.
65 wins.
It's all the shoes. They're all going to be like 60 wins.
23.
What do you got?
43.
No, it was a joke.
Oh.
Jordan.
Oh my God, that was 45. By the way, did he say 23 or 43? What's happening?
He's wearing the 4 or 5.
Total wins.
I feel like I'm kind of close to Scotty here.
It's like a showcase showdown.
Is, do I want to go above him or under him?
Correct.
If I say 1 win, and everybody goes over?
Is this the prices right now?
Yes. Your father's going to come up with $17 at a beekeeper's hat.
Give me 91.
91 for Little Shoes. Okay.
All right. I'm going to split the uprights between Timmy and Scotty, and I'm going to say 87 wins.
Oh, I like that. All right. And we'll get Rubber Shoes in due time.
Everybody will be waiting with bated breath, I'm sure.
A phenomenal weekend. I'm sure we'll all enjoy. Lots of golf.
Hey, don't
that
wrap
Adam
up
won't be
yet.
watching. What do we got? What are we missing? I apologize.
I just have to. It's all right. I should have brought it up earlier when we were talking about the Final Four.
Sorry.
Lost. The DeYoung household has really never won anything that's ever related to anything.
Oh, your wife? Your wife?
My wife won.
Yeah, Jess had Kansas, right?
Yeah, and she won by like 60 points. So yeah,
I forgot about that.
111.
Congratulations,
so
it's
I'm
awesome.
very proud of her.
Mother DeYoung.
Yes,
God
she
bless.
worked really
$90
hard on her
in
bracket.
my wife's league.
Woo. Yeah, and
you won?
Yeah, send this love note to Mother DeYoung. This is directly from Rubber Shoes. Hey, we're really sorry there was no money. That's why this was stupid and it didn't count. Yeah. Everything we do is not for money, so it's stupid and it doesn't count. Including this podcast. Not for money, it's stupid and it doesn't count.
It's so stupid. it. It doesn't count.
We appreciate you hanging out. We love when you're watching and sharing. Invite your friends to check it out. Comment, and above all else, atbshow.com. If you go there, there's the link for all the things. We do want to thank our friends at AAA Work Trucks. They sponsor Rubber Shoes every morning. He's fearless. Every morning he gives you the Rubber Shoes wrap up.
Sellout.
That's on the Insta. What's that?
Corporate sellout.
He is a corporate. Yep. I'm waiting for the temporary tattoo, and they're like, we're not going to tell him it's not temporary. You know, he's going to get it on his forehead. Yeah.
Nice neck tattoo.
Yeah, he's gonna. They're gonna give him like a big fake back one, and he'll go. Do they have wrestling at the Big E? This is a conversation we have to get into. The Corey family. The Corey family loves going to the Big E. Rubber Shoes eats everything in sight. And I just picture like they have some sort of rafter wrestling going on at the Big E. Is there any wrestling content going on at the Big E?
I don't think so.
No. Okay.
Maybe like pig wrestling.
MGK performed there.
Yeah, there's a carefully curated set of photos that make its way to Instagram during the Big E. Tyler's 9 feet tall, so he can eat all the fried Oreos. Between him and his father, it's unbelievable what the food that goes down.
We should do a live broadcast from the Big E and just see them
live
eat.
from the Big E. Yeah, brought to you by AAA Work Trucks. So thanks everybody for hanging out. We appreciate you watching the show, sharing it with your friends. Comment and like and subscribe. And we'll see you guys in and around the internets. We're back for episode 53, which I will be on assignment, so I will not be here. You boys will hold things down. And I'll be back to talk about what we didn't bring up, but I got to squeeze it in now. We're going to talk about Bruce Arians, and how well that all went for him.
On the show.
I'm just going to say, listen, I was saying to Adam before we jumped on the air.
We got an hour through, and you had to.
We talk about it, and it happens. So yes, we complained about him enough. Yeah,
Right,
you had to know he was
job
leaving.
Do you want to get lost tomorrow?
What's that?
Whose job do you want to predict getting taken away tomorrow? Who do you want to will out of here now?
Frank Vogel.
Hey, Little Shoes, we had a good run.